I'd like to say good morning to all of those of you that are joining us by means of YouTube live streaming here on internet. I'm Pastor Eugene Jones from the Body of Jesus Christ Ministries International. I'd like to thank those of you that are here with us live this morning in class as well. We thank you for being with us again on another Sunday morning where we're here to digest some of the thoughts of God concerning the will of God about our lives. We pray and hope this morning that we will say something that will be an encouragement to your hearts along the journey of faith. Today, we're going to continue something that we started last week. We talked about the sovereignty of God last week. If you were not with us last week, go back, look at last week's lesson. We talked about the sovereignty of God, how God is God in control. Can we blame God for everything that goes on in our lives? But as you will go back and interview that lesson and that topic, you will get an opportunity to understand God's position as well as our position. One thing I'm sure of, beloved, that God wants us to take full responsibility of our lives. With that being said, we're going to come to a part 2 today. We're going to talk about something. I had an opportunity this week to speak to a young lady, and she was talking to me, and the more that she talked to me, she was displaying to me through the experiences of her life hurt. She was telling me some things that she had gone through in her life that has caused her to be hurtful. And she, in so many words, said, I don't do the God thing right now. I don't talk to God right now because I'm disappointed with issues of life. And I find that to be a very common statement among people. People are, because of a lack of understanding, we somewhat blames and shift the blame to the wrong individuals. Or we may shift the blame on God for our outcome, or shift the blame on other people. It's my husband's fault. It's my wife's fault. It's my children's fault. It's because God made me black. It's because I'm not educated enough. And we find all the reasons to say why life is the way it is at this particular moment. But we search the word and we want to bring some clarity. We want to share some things with you. Hopefully will bring some clarity to your understanding. Today, we're going to talk about a part 2 on this, about the sovereignty of God, but we're going to add something to it. And this part 2 is going to be man, a free agent. Man, a free agent. Now, God made man, and I'm sure you agree with that God made man, and God understood that he wanted man to be made in a certain way, in a certain likeness, and God decided that he will make man in whose image? Can anybody tell me whose image that God said he made man in?
His image.
His image, okay, his image. So let's compare that this morning to man, a free agent. What does that really mean, a free agent? We're gonna do a definition on that first. It means what? If we look at this, a free agent means a person who is self-determining and is not responsible for his or her actions to any authority. A person who is a free agent. Look what it says. A person who is self-determining. They are self-determining. Self-determining. And is not responsible for his or her actions to any authority. In other words, nobody has nothing to say. I made my own decisions. Say that. Make my own decisions.
Make my own decisions.
I want you to get this now. It's going to be important. Number 2, a professional, then it gives an example, a professional who what? Under no contract or is free to what? To auction off his what? To auction off his services.
Dwayne Wade.
What did he do? Auction off his services. He left the Heat and went to who?
Chicago.
He went to Chicago. Why? Because Dwayne Wade was a free agent. So Dwayne Wade auctioned off his services this year after so many years with the Miami Heat. He decided that he had no more responsibility, no more obligations to the Heat. So he decided that he would go and determine his own determination. He made his own self-determining decision. So he then took his services and auctioned them off to a new company, a new organization called the Chicago Bulls. So it says auction off his or her services and signs a contract with the team that offers the most what?
Money.
Go ahead. For what?
Or free agent span.
So listen. So a free agent is a person that does what? Make their own decision. What they think is more profitable for them. And it's there. In other words, a free agent is a person that makes his own choices. And when you make your choices, I want you to get that now. This is important what I'm about to say. When you make your choices, it's important that you understand that if you make the choices, you're gonna have to live with the consequences. You can't make the choices and blame somebody else for the consequences. I want y'all to understand that. You cannot make the choices and hold me responsible for your consequences. Are you with me?
Yeah.
All right. Let's get this. Let's get into this. All right. We are made, let's say this, we are made different.
We are made different.
Say that for me again. Say that. Made different. For instance, let's look at this. God made the human kingdom, the animal kingdom, right? They are merely what? They're merely what? They merely act on what we call instinct. They instinct. They got senses and instinct. If you take an animal and take him down the road, through instinct, he'll find his way back home. Through smell. A dog and animals, they know you by your smell. Instinct. That's how they know people. They walk up to you. They got memory. They tell them they came in contact with your scent before. You're not a stranger. But if they smell you and they never smelled you before, they instantly tell them you're a stranger. They never had an encounter with you. So dogs get violent because they can't relate. They don't know who you are, so they get in the protective mode. So what it says, they are made of an animal king. They are merely led by instinct. We resemble who?
Our Creator.
We remember our Creator, and by displaying such qualities such as what?
Love.
We display qualities as love and what else?
Justice.
We're made in God's image. We're going to display love. We're going to display justice. And like our Creator, we have free will. Talk to me, y'all.
Okay.
Like our Creator, we're going to have what?
Free will.
So now we're made different than the who?
Animal.
The animal king. So we're made in the likeness of who?
God.
And God is a God of what?
Love.
And what else? Justice. But on top of all of that, we resemble God with what? With the ability to choose. I'm going to write this now. The ability to choose. You choose the way you want to go. Did anybody make you marry somebody?
No.
Did anybody make you do the business you do?
No.
Nope. Did anybody make you come here this morning to serve it? Nope. Did anybody make you put the clothes on you put on this morning? Nope. Did anybody make you choose to have the friends that you have? Nope. All of those are your what? All of those are your choice. All of those are your choice. Watch this now. Remember this now. So we're just like the Creator. We're like the Creator. We have a free will. We have the right to choose. Look at that. What is that, ladies and gentlemen? Not ladies, but gentlemen. What is that? What is that? That's an apple tree. That's right, little man. That's an apple tree. Now, the apple tree that we mostly associate, that the first couple that God made, we basically associate the fruit as an apple. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Right. We basically associate it as an apple. So I went and found me an image of an apple tree. And humanity, after God gave humanity the makeup to be able to choose his or her future, then God turned around and said, now the only way that we can do this, I got to give you a choice. In order for you to be a free agent, you must have a choice. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a symbol before you or a law before you, and you would have to choose to comply or disobey. So the apple tree, the garden, the fruit was the choice that man had to make. I want you to get this now. This is what God spoke to me. God placed this fruit in the midst of the garden and placed this tree in the midst of the garden. as the ability to make a choice, to choose to comply or to choose to disobey. We know the story. What did man do? He chose to disobey God. He said, God, since I'm a free agent, I'm going to choose to be independent, God. I'm going to choose to do things my way. I'm going to make decisions in life that I don't need your assistance. But somewhere in our lives, when we have the right to choose because we were made to choose like God, a free agent, we don't want to accept the responsibility of the consequences of our choice. After we make the decision to choose and things doesn't turn out quite the way we want them to, we start the blame game. Or we start from God is the reason why I'm going through this, to your mama, your daddy, your cousin, anybody close to you, anybody you take it to the back, even you put it on the white man, the black man, the blue, the aliens, anybody you can put it on, you put it on them. Why? Because now you don't want to take responsibility for your choices. Oh, but we're going to have to accept the responsibility. If we're going to move forward and be successful in life, we're going to have to accept the responsibility that we are free will agents. Say that. I'm a free will agent.
Free will agent.
So God put this in the garden. God put a tree there. And when God put this tree in the garden, ladies and gentlemen, this tree that God put in the garden, he put it there so man can be able to make a decision to partake or to walk away and not touch it. I want you to think about this. If God gave us the ability to choose and we had no opportunity to choose, we wouldn't be free will agents. Okay. How are you a free will agent without a choice? So God had to give humanity a choice. So the choice was, you got a choice to eat of this fruit, or you got a choice to stay with me. You eat of this fruit on the recommendation of this alien spirit called Satan. You can take his recommendation, or you can stay with me and don't touch this fruit. But I want you to know one thing. God always did this. I want you to catch this. He said, if you do this, I must warn you of the consequences. Here's a consequence. If you eat of the fruit, you shall surely die. You shall surely die. And that word death and that Hebrew terminology means that you will become alienated from God. In other words, let me give you a scenario. Thank you, Lord. Let me give you a scenario. If you eat of this fruit, your spirit man is not going to be able to fellowship with me anymore. You're not going to get the nutrients that you need. You're going to have to eat from a different table. You're not going to be able to eat of my integrity anymore. You have to eat from a different table. You're going to die. Your spirit man going to be cut off from my revelation and my nourishment if you choose to violate me. Now, I made you as a free will agent. So now the choice is in your hand. Here you go, man. God put him in the garden. He's in the garden. He's walking around now. And all of a sudden now the enemy made himself present. He made his presence known. He started talking to the man's woman. He got to talking to the woman. He took the word. He took his words and he shaped her will. I want to say that again. How do you shape the will? You shape the will through conversation. You shape the will through the selecting and the choice of words. The Bible says there's life and death in the power of the tongue. God took word and he tried to paint a world for us without sin. He said, don't eat. He gave man a commandment. But man chose to take the recommendation of an alien spirit called Satan. And Satan told man, you don't need God. You eat this fruit, you will be wise as God. People today, they're trying to live life without, how can you live life without food? Do anybody know a fish living without water?
Nope.
Do anybody know a car, a gas car, functioning without gas?
Nope.
Well, how can a human function without instructions from his creator? But we try to do it every day. We try to live a life every day without God. But because we decide to break the laws of God, and now that the consequences present themselves, we start the blame game. So let's move on. Being a free agent, and let's look at the blame game. I want to read this. Right after that, there was something here that wound up happening when Moses took the children of Israel and he took them out of bondage, and God led him and raised him up to be the leader to bring these people out of the bondage of Egypt. When he was in Egypt in bondage, he brought them out. And once he brought them out of bondage, he began to tell them, he went to God and he got God instructions. Now, I'm going to tell you this. Success is always tied to instructions. Success is always tied or connected to instructions. So Moses says, in order for you to be a successful people, you're going to have to become one again with what we failed as a people. We failed to become one with the instructions of God. And so the consequences came. So here's Moses. When the study teaches us that men still are free agents. Man chose to disobey God. Man chose to disobey God, so man must prepare himself to suffer the consequences. Here is Moses in Deuteronomy, the 30th chapter, the 11th verse. It says this: for this commandment that I've commanded you today, it's not too hard for you. He said, I want to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something now. I want you to understand this. It's not too hard for you. He said, neither is it far off. This ain't something far off, 13,000 miles away. But listen, it is not in heaven. The commands is not in heaven, that you should say, who will ascend to the heavens for us and bring it to us, that we may hear it and do it. In other words, don't say that the commandments of God are so far away and so far away that we can't hear, we don't know what to do. He say, no, this stuff is here present right now in your ears. Don't be saying it's too far. Neither is it beyond the sea. Don't say it's beyond the sea. That you should say, well, who will go over the sea for us and bring it unto who? Bring it to us, that we may hear it and do it. Now, who won't go across seas and get the words and get the laws of God? Don't make all these excuses. Moses said, don't be talking about God's instructions and far away. Don't be talking about this in the heavens. You got to go get it. He said, don't be talking about this over on the other side of the sea. He said, don't say that. Listen to me now. Listen closely. Don't say those things now. That who's going to over and get it, that we may do it. But that the word is very near you. What did he say? That the word is very what? It is in your what?
It is in your mouth. It's in your heart.
It is in your mouth and it is in your heart, so that you can do what?
You can do it.
Say that. So where is it? Where is it, Brother Johnson?
It is in your mouth.
It is in your mouth. I want to get this now. This is Moses saying. Moses giving us an insight to a formula of success in this day and dispensation in time. It's in your mouth. You're going to have to put God's word in your mouth. You have to get it in your heart. In your mouth and in your heart. Listen to me closely. In your mouth, it is in your heart so that you can do it. Now watch this. When it get in your mouth and it get in your heart, then it's going to become your character. Yeah. Say that. When it get in my mouth.
Get in my mouth.
Get in my heart.
Get in my heart.
Because my mouth speaks.
My mouth speaks.
The abundance of my heart.
The abundance of my heart.
And when it's in my heart, it's going to become my character. It's going to become what I do. Become what I do. And people don't understand that what they do is a result of what's in their heart. And what's in their heart is a result of what's in their mind. And what is in their mind is a result of what they listen to. The information that they utilize and the information that they glean. So he turns around and he says this. He says, now listen now. 15th verse says, see, I have set before you today life and good. I have set before you life and good, death and evil. This is what Moses said. Moses said, good, life, death, and evil set before you. If you obey the commands of the Lord your God that I command you today, by loving the Lord, he says, by loving the Lord your God, by walking in his ways. Wait a minute. if you love God, you'll walk in his ways. If a woman loves a man, she'll walk in his ways. If a man loves a woman, he'll walk in the way. What way? The covenant agreement, the promises of your covenant. I promise to love you. I promise to cherish you. I promise to be faithful to get to us while you're walking that. If you love her, if she loves you, you'll walk into the things that you set forth. So he says, if you love God, you'll walk in his commandments. By loving the Lord your God, by walking in his ways and keeping his commandments and his statutes and his rules. Now this is Moses talking to them. In his rules, then you shall live and what?
Multiply.
You shall live and multiply, and the Lord your God will bless you in the land that you are entering. What? To take possession of it. He say, if you want to be successful, comply to God's instructions. Let's make this simple. Let's make this real simple. Success requires instructions. The adhering, the gluing, the sticking to become one with. Success requires the instructions must be given to the participants. In order for them to have success, they need instructions. So God's saying to Moses, and Moses saying to these people that, you got to remember now, these people had a slave mentality. They had been in slavery for 430 years. So God can't just set them free and bring them out to the wilderness and just say, y'all do your thing out here. No, God had to give them instructions how to live. Even though he knew they weren't going to make it. He knew they couldn't fulfill it. But he was trying to shape them and put some money on them and help them out and give them a conscience. And the conscience was what? To show them how rotten they was. To show them they couldn't do it by themselves. He said, if you want to take possession, be obedient. Be obedient. But if your heart, watch what it says. But if your heart turn away, here's the consequences. But if your heart turn away and you will not hear, but did draw away to worship what? Other gods and to serve them. He said, now here's the consequences. Say this. But if it is your choice.
But if it is your choice.
If you choose. To turn away. If you want to be like Eve and Adam and turn away, you must be prepared to suffer the consequences. Now let me tell you something. Let's get this. Let's as we're going through this. Let's put this on. Let's put the rubber to the road. Consequences are birthed through the power of decisions.
Yep.
Consequences are birthed through the power of decisions. Well, why do everybody want to blame everybody else? No, you take your blame, put your big boy clothes on and take the blame. I'm to blame for what's going on in my life. You to blame for what's going on. You rather success or failure, you take your blame. It ain't cause you black. It ain't cause you white. It ain't cause you bald head. It ain't cause you, no. It's because of your process of decision making. So he says, if you decide not to do and turn away and go after other gods and worship other gods and serve them. 18 verse says, declare to you. He said, I declare to you this day. I want you to know this. Here I go. This is what I got to say to you. I declare to you this day that you shall surely
perish.
You shall surely
perish.
If you decide to come against God's laws, I say to you, your outcome is you will perish. If you choose to dishonor God, like a kid choose to dishonor their parent, what's going to happen? Your child dishonor you, what you going to do?
You got consequences.
You got consequences. That child got some consequences to deal with you. You choose to dishonor God. You choose not to do it God's way. You're asking for trouble. You're asking for trouble. It's anything in life. Anything in life. You choose to violate the law of the road. You choose to say, I'm going to run every red light I see today. Every red light I see today, I'm going to treat it as if it's a green light. I'm going to run through every red light 80 miles an hour. I guarantee you, the only way you're going to make it through the day is going to be by the grace of God that move everything out of the way. Because you done lost your mind. Isn't that what it is? Yep. But if you normally, you go through that and you run every red light, violating the law of the land, the commandments of the laws, and those laws are put there to protect you, that you can get to your desired destiny. Stop when the light is red. Go when the light is what? Green. But if you violate those laws, you are not going to make it through the day. Your destination, you're going to wind up somewhere where?
Dead.
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 And you want, let me ask you something. Once you wind up dead, folks come along and say, stop blaming God. Folks gonna come along and start blaming God. Won't blame the man. Won't blame the man. Gonna blame God. Most people that do not have the proper insight put the blame. Those are irresponsible people that places the blame on other places. Let me get on into this. I'm my time rounding out. I'm gonna probably deal with this a couple more weeks because this is, I'm pregnant with this because I keep hearing this over and over again. You will perish. You should not live long in the land that you are going over the Jordan to enter into death, blessings and curses. Therefore, no, let me go back over here. Possession. I call heaven and earth to witness. Let me go back. He said, if you do that, that you will not possess and enter the possession land that I promise you. He said, I call heaven and earth to witness against you today that I have set before you life and what?
Death.
I've set before you life and death.
Blessings and curses.
Blessings and curses. How do you, now listen to this. He said, I've set before you life and death. He said, guess how I did that? I set it before heaven. And I set this a witness on earth. Heaven and earth has recorded the ability that you hear, the opportunity to hear truth. The ability to give you the choice that you're a free agent and God is giving you the information that is needed for you to make the proper choice. Heaven got it on record. So let me say something to you, accuser. Let me say something to you, accuser. Accuser of God, accuser of God, accuser of man, accuser of color, accuser of because you have no education. Let me say to you, he says, you got the choice. The word is set before you. You choose. Heaven witnessing this, earth witnessing this, and guess what? When you get to heaven, God got it on record. Why? Because heaven is witnessing the opportunity that you have. What opportunity? To make the choice, to avoid the consequences of life. But instead, you want to be a person that puts the responsibility on others. Let's grow up and be big kids about this. So what it says down there, blessings and death. Therefore, choose life. What it says right there?
Choose life. Therefore, choose life.
And so choice now, you free agent. You choose life, that you in your what? Offsprings may what?
Yeah.
Now listen, I'm going to ask you something. Your choices affect your children's. You know that?
Yeah.
You choose life, that it won't affect your children. Help us, Lord. Where do kids get their babies from? They get them from you. Where do they get their guidance from? They get it from you. They get it from us. Not only do kids get their values from us, but a lot of times people pick up values from you.
Yep.
When people hang out with you, when people talk to you, excuse me, when people talk to you and hang out with you, they're in a phase of being transformed by your thinking, your thoughts. I'm about there. He said, you choose. And by you obeying this, now watch what it says here. Again, today that I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Therefore, choose life that you and your offsprings may live, loving the Lord your God, obeying his voice. That's what it says, obeying his voice, and holding fast to him who? God. Be obedient and hold fast to God, for he is your what? Life, and what? Length of what? Days, that you may dwell in the land that the Lord swore unto your father Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and gave to them. What did he just say? Moses, under the instructions of God, gave the Israelites the formula to success in this context. You choose. Say, my destiny is in my hand. Come on, let's go. Let's get beep. Say, my destiny.
My destiny
is in my hand.
Is in my hand.
My choices.
My choices.
That I make.
That I make.
Is in my hand.
Is in my hand.
You don't believe that? Jesus demonstrated this in the will of his Father and concluded. Watch what he says. But God clearly showed and provided his love for us. How did God do that? For us, by the fact that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. What do I mean by that? That was God's will. When Jesus was in the Garden of Gethsemane and he was about to die, when they came to get Jesus, one time Jesus was man in the flesh. And one time he said, Father, if it be any other way, move this. Shook his head and said, Father, not my will. Guess what he said? I'm here to do your will. Guess what he said? My will is your will. Not my will. We love humanity. We love man so much that while they were sinners, while they were our enemies, he said, God loved me so much that he sent Jesus to die for me while I was his enemy. So guess what? Jesus understood. Look what Jesus did. He demonstrated his will. His will was to do it God's way, make decisions according to his Father. His Father sent him to earth to do what? Yeah. His Father sent him to earth to die. Is that correct? Yep. So Jesus said, look what Jesus said. He said, Father, not my will, but your will be done. He said, not my will, but your will be done. Now, because Jesus did that, because Jesus' will was the will of his Father, many people can be successful in life now. Everybody that chooses the will of God can be successful in their lives. Now, unfortunately, many people have different definitions of success. And we're not going to all of that. I'm about done. As a matter of fact, I am done. God watched Adam's actions and consequences. I want you to get this, because this is what I'm going to stop it. I'm going to come back to this next week. So now that God gave man the ability to be a free agent, after he gave man the ability to be a free agent, watch this. Can he go there, and when man began to process circumstances, can God jump in the middle of it and say, stop that? Because God say, I'm going to arrest you. I'm going to lock you up in the house because you can't go out, so you can't go out there and kill nobody. I'm going to stop you from killing somebody. I'm going to stop you from stealing. I'm going to stop you from whoremongering. I'm going to stop you from robbing. I'm going to stop you from displaying a lack of integrity in your business deals. Can God do that? Now, people don't want to answer that. Now, God gave you the choice to make. God let that Adam and Eve make the decision to eat or not to eat. And God's sister, as I say in this slide, God watched. He could have stopped them. But if God would have stopped them, what would have happened?
They would have had their own free will.
There you go. It would have been a contradiction of what he said he made. He could not interfere with their decision. I want you to get this now. I'm going to get into something. I'm going to get real tedious. He could not contradict the decision. He made us a free agent, and it was God's responsibility to respect his ability, what he made. So God had to stand back and watch, man. I give you the ability. I've given you the instructions. I've given you the knowledge. I told you if you do it, what the consequences is going to be. Now it's your choice. And God stands back and God, look. And now that God is standing back and looking, now man has made all kind of weird decisions. He made a decision to violate God. And when he violated God, Satan said, we got God's man. Now the door opened to humanity. Satan captured God's man. And when he captured God's man, Satan said, I got the door open now. Satan said, come on, y'all. He started calling and say, sickness, come on, to the human race. Poverty, come on. Death, come on. Homelessness, come on. Everything that could dishonor God, Satan said, come on. Come on, Cletus. Come on. Come on, Cletus. The man complied with Satan, and he runs to every one of Satan's baking desires and perverting this and everything that the devil wants. Man do everything that he's big enough to do now. He homosexuals, he lesbians, he robbers, he killers, he idolaters, he's everything that he can imagine. And we do all of those things, but yet we blame God. Stop letting the devil deceive you. Take your rightful authority. Take your rightful responsibility. I'm going to close on this. You see this right here? I say God is omniscient. You know what omniscient means? Knowing all things. He knows everything. Don't nothing get by him. But he sit in heaven and he watch as man processes decisions and make his decisions. God watches man make their decisions, but God gives us the information that is needed to help us make the proper decisions. We choose to ignore the information and make the decisions without the information, and God has to sit there. And I'm telling you, I submit it to your thinking. He has to watch the consequences. He can't violate his word. If God violated his word for you, and I'm going to give you an instance. I'm going to give you an instance. And I'm closing with this. Look at this. John the Baptist and many more was gone. John the Baptist was beheaded. Say that. Say John the Baptist was beheaded.
John the Baptist was beheaded.
That's his cousin. John the Baptist was his cousin, the one that baptized him. John the Baptist was a righteous man. But God sat back and watched John be beheaded. And folks say, how? God, your cousin? You right here running around here and everybody else is doing everything. You hear you say your cousin? See, the unregenerated mind will say, God, what's up with that? You let your cousin die. I'm finna hit you hard with this. See, John the Baptist's death to God wasn't a shocker to him. Matter of fact, he knew it before he sent John to earth with his mission, that John exit train to get back home was a ride, but first to get on his ride to get back, he knew that he was designated to be beheaded. So why didn't God stop it? He's a righteous man. Why didn't God stop his cousin from being beheaded? Why is it in Revelation 20, I put down there, the Bible says in the last days, in the time of tribulation, people are going to be beheaded. Why won't God stop that? Why won't the loving God stop people from being beheaded? Why won't the loving God intervene and stop folks from killing folks? Innocent babies getting raped. Why won't the loving God do something? Because love makes you suffer. You get this? When you love someone, you don't force your will on them. Sometimes one of the meanings that I defined on Wednesday night, suffer means to do nothing, to stand back at times and do nothing. You have to suffer with the consequences and the choices that others make. That's a form of suffering because you can't do nothing about it. I see my mother laying in a hospital, in hospice, my mother laying there. That's a form of suffering because I can't do nothing. God loves you so much, he can't do nothing when you choose to live outside of his word. What do you want him to do? You want him to compromise his existence? You want him to make heaven collapse because he's going to run to your assistance on your choice? So God asked me the other day, do you want my heaven to fail? He said, heaven and earth will pass away if I collapse and violate my word. I knew man so weak, and I know that man is so weak that he's going to dishonor me. He's so weak that he'll kill any of my agents, anybody that represent me. He said, I knew man was going to kill John. I knew he was going to kill my cousin. He said, but I need you to think this. If I can stand back and watch humanity kill my son, beat love to death, abuse love to the utmost. If I can stand back and watch that, said God, I can certainly watch the decisions that man made and watch their consequences. I'm not man that I move like man. I'm God. And man got to stop trying to bring me to their level of thinking. I'm God. My ways are higher than your ways. My restraint is higher than yours. I can restrain. In my closing, he said, if you want to think that I'm an unfair God and that I love you and I love you enough to let you make your decisions, if you think that I'm unfair because I'm letting you make your decisions for your life and suffer your consequences, he said, if you want to think that, but take me to the other end of the spectrum. The same God that allowed you to make decisions and suffer your consequences. What about, do you tell the world how beautiful I am when I say there rain on the unjust as well as the just? When I let the blessings and the goodness of life hit the undeserved? Why don't you say something about when I let goodness hit everybody? Do the world complain about my goodness? Do they complain about I let the sun shine in their house? Do they complain about when I let the goodness and my money flow in their house? When good health is in their house, do the world complain about that? Do people walk around complaining about how good I am? So no, they don't do that. Actually, they want to give my honor to somebody else, like themselves. I did this. I did this. My education. I did this. Concluding. Mankind, we got issues in our thinking. Our psyches are sick with errors of thoughts that are not proper and conducive to God's truth. You are a free will agent. You must suffer the consequences that you choose in life. Stop blaming God for everything. Stop blaming your cousin, your wife, your spouse. You are the reason why you're where you are. Whether it be good or whether it be bad. Take the responsibility. I can blame God for saying, God, I'm a minister, but I've been diagnosed with cancer. I can put that on God. But guess what? I know better than that. Know why? Because I know where I dwell and where I live at. I live in a world and in a dimension because sin is here. Because man, sin, eating food, and an effect of many things, that certain things, because I live in this dominion, I'm susceptible or I'm available to become contaminated with certain conditions of the human anatomy, maybe of my mind, because I live in the earth realm. I refuse to question God's decisions. I refuse to question, why do God permit certain things to happen to me? I trust, this is what faith is called, trusting the unknown. God bless you today. Take your decision. Guess what? Make a decision, suffer your consequences, and all God can do is watch you make the choice. God bless you. Keep you as our prayer. We'll see you again next week. Bye-bye. Wait.